In the struggle against slavery in the 19th century, American slavery, you might divide the people who found slavery awful into two groups. One group was horrified by how slaves were treated, how they were fed, clothed, their families broken up, beaten, all of that. And they devoted themselves to a struggle to improve the condition of the slaves. Better diets, better clothing, keep their families together. And then there was a second group of people who were horrified not only by slavery, but by the first group of those who opposed it. They looked at their brothers and sisters in that other movement, and they said, "You're missing the most powerful and basic moral issue of the time. The problem is not how we treat the slaves. The problem is that there are such a thing as slaves." The further argument they made was, even if you and we struggle to improve the diet, the clothing, the housing, and so on of slaves, as long as they remain slaves, whatever we win can and probably will be taken away by the master in the future, just as it was taken away by the master in the past, which is why the solution is not improving their situation, but transforming it into something utterly different. Now move forward with me to our present system, which isn't slavery, it's capitalism. Oh yes, we could complain a little bit that wages should be a bit higher, that people shouldn't be thrown out of their homes by foreclosure. This should sound familiar to you. We were worrying, and we still worry, about the conditions of the working people of America, like we might have been upset about the conditions of the slaves back in the Old South. But then there has to be a moral voice coming up and saying, the issue isn't whether workers' wages should be higher, their job conditions better, their security of work higher. There's a deeper and more profound moral problem, and that's the problem of the capitalist system, that there's a moral question about whether human beings who collectively and cooperatively produce the wealth of a society are unable to participate in the decisions as to what is done with what they have produced.